Well, let's get more on Israel's response. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Ron Prosor, now joins me here in the studio. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
The Israeli government has said that they're going to have a heavy-handed response. Beyond the demolishing of 2 houses and heightened security in Jerusalem, what else is expected?
Well, it's really interesting. Let's begin with what happened. I mean, what happened is that through incitement, we had Israelis butchered, slaughtered in a house, in a synagogue, where people look for sanctuary and can't even find sanctuary in a synagogue. So the incitement is something that we should talk about because it talks about the future. And the incitement is on the Palestinian side, not Hamas. So you see incitement by Abu Mazen, you see incitement on official TV and radio on the Palestinian side. And I'm asking CNN, don't take my word for it. You don't have to be an investigative reporter to go down and see what it creates, because it creates calling people to go out, day of rage, telling them that Israel is doing unbearable things on the Temple Mount, where the contrary is true, because since 67, Israel has opened this place free for every people, every religion. And if you zoom out for a second, you don't have to be Catholic to visit the Vatican. You don't have to be Jewish to go to the Western Wall. But the Palestinians are trying to create a situation where only Muslims will be able to go on the Temple Mount. And Israel will keep it free for all religions and all faiths.
Just to reiterate, this was a terrible attack in a synagogue, like you say, a very violent, bloody attack. This has been said to be a defining moment by an Israeli spokesperson. Do you see it as that as well? And I must apologize, you know, it is a synagogue, and I think that's what's so important here.
Absolutely. It is a defining moment, but not just for Israel, for the world, because these terrorist organizations, it's Hamas, it's Hezbollah, it's ISIS, it's Al-Qaeda. You see that all over the world. They are out there with a radical ideology trying to go out against the common values that we all cherish. What you see is Israel, they're fighting with terror in its doorsteps today. This is going to come over to you tomorrow. So we have to stand together, because only by confronting this radicalism we'll be able to live in peace in the region and everywhere else.
2 questions around that very issue. This is increasingly, a lot of these attacks are like lone wolf attacks, uncoordinated perhaps. How difficult is that to police?
Well, first of all, it's very difficult. But the point that I want to make is why are those things taking place? Because of the education system, on official school books, TV, radio. The end of the day, Israel will always reach out to everyone in peace. And if you look at Prime Minister Netanyahu, since this started, responsibility, trying to calm the situation. On the other side, we see incitement. So don't give us this double talk on trying to condemn things before that, you incite people to do this stuff. So what we have to do today is, first of all, deal with the incitement. And secondly, we will do everything to have Jerusalem an open and a free place for all religions of all faiths, as we were doing for many years.
What do you feel that this is shifting? There has been concerns by many analysts that this is moving past sort of a stalemate about territory into some sort of religious war. I mean, is that concerning you?
Yes, we see the Arab leaders, we see the Palestinian Authority trying to make it a religious war, because, you know, calling on, telling stories of Israel doing stuff on the Temple Mount, and, you know...
Will the status quo stay the same on the Temple Mount?
Absolutely. The Prime Minister has reiterated that very, very clearly. But my message to the world is, don't point fingers at Israel. We are trying to do everything we can in order to calm the situation. The Prime Minister works in what I would call with sense, sensitivity, and sensibility, and the other side should do exactly that. It's too important.
It is. And how do you see this playing out then? What do you want from the international community and critically from Palestinian Authority leaders?
I want the international community not to make discounts to the Palestinian Authority, because it's Abu Mazen, it's not Hamas. Don't make discounts. Go after the incitement, the education system. At the end of the day, if we want overall comprehensive peace, we'll have to deal with that. in the Arab world, with the Palestinian Authority, and only through that we'll be able to have some peaceful resolution in this area.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Ambassador Prosor there.